All right, hey everybody, and welcome to our webinar. We appreciate you joining us here on a Thursday rather than a Wednesday. A little bit out of the ordinary, but things come up, and we still like to bring you content every month. So we're here on a Thursday instead of a Wednesday. We appreciate you adjusting your schedules just like we had to adjust ours. So welcome to becoming the efficiency extraordinaire. We call it part two, with 10 more ways to gain more time and land your dream job in sports. I'm Steve Richards. Mike Rudd is going to be our presenter today. We're really excited about that, as we are every other month. And before we get started, I just want to make sure everything works. But I also want to find out where everybody's from. So if you guys can type your name and your city into the chat box, I can get where everybody's from, but I can also make sure that the chat box is working and that you guys are being able to hear me okay. So whenever you're ready, go ahead and feel free to put your name in there and your city and where you're from into that chat box so we can move on to the next step here. It looks like we're still – here we go. We got Michael from Toronto, so it looks like we're ready to go here. Michael's hearing us okay, and we're able to make sure the chat box is working. Again, we will have a replay. I just hit the record button, so you can watch for that email. That'll be coming out tomorrow. And like I said, as long as the recording equipment works, we've had problems with GoToWebinar in the past, but as long as the recording equipment works, we will have a replay for tomorrow, so that's always a good thing. And we are going to be answering your questions at the end, so feel free to go ahead and type those in the chat box whenever they come to you during the webinar, and I'll be the one monitoring them throughout the webinar. So make sure that you ask your questions whenever they come to you, and I'll be sure to bookmark them, and we'll be able to answer any questions that you might have at the end as Mike goes through his information. So like I said, just some quick introductions here. My name is Steve Richards. I am the COO of Sports Networker and the Sports Executives Association. I started out as an intern and kind of worked my way up from there, and I've been with the company for a couple of years now, and I really enjoy what we're doing and bringing the goodness to the people in a sense that people want to find their way in sports. We're the go-to for helping people find jobs with our ebooks and all our content, such as these free webinars that we offer, and certainly the Sports Executives Association as well. So that's a little bit about me, a little bit about Mike Rudd, who will be our presenter today. He certainly knows about efficiency. He's working through another ebook right now, and I'm sure efficiency is always on his mind. And he constantly has the subject on his mind. So he's probably working on that book efficiently. So he's doing everything with efficiency and doing the best with his time. He's also a very successful sales expert, which he'll go over a little bit. And he's ready to share some of his tips and tricks on tonight on how you can become successful and essentially find more time in the day without staying up for 30 hours straight. He's got some quick and easy ways that you can find yourself doing some more things with your time. So without further ado, we'll let Mike get right into it and talk about ways to get more efficient. So go ahead and take it over, Mike.
Steve, thank you. I want to say thanks to everybody and hello to you who have tuned in. I appreciate you spending the next 45 minutes or so with us, and I'm going to make it worth your while. A little background on this so everybody knows. I'm actually, as Steve said, I'm doing a online program. It's the Efficiency Recipe, and it's a 25-step program that's going to get people 2 more hours a day in their lives, 14 hours a week, and it's 25 steps, and these are going to be 10 of the steps that I'm going to be sharing tonight. So it's a great program I've put together, but there's a lot of and it's a paid program, so consider yourself VIP tonight for getting 10 of the 25 steps at no charge. So once again, my name is Mike Rudd, aka Marketing Fun with Mike, and I am an author, a speaker, sports marketing specialist, and a hot dog extraordinaire. You can find me at marketingfunwithmike.com. Let's get going here. So the big word is time, and there is 60 seconds in 1 minute, 60 minutes in 1 hour, 24 hours in a day, 7 days in a week, and 365 days in a year, except for leap year. And we all know how much time we have. We all know what we can do with it. But for some reason, over and over and over again, in the past 15 years in my career, the number one thing I hear people struggle with, and they tell me, is I don't have enough time to do the things I want to do. I don't have enough time to accomplish what I want to accomplish. I feel like I am so busy and so frazzled that I can't get done what I want and need to get done, not just for my job, but to live the life that I want. I do not have this problem. I'm very fortunate, and it is because I kind of had an epiphany about 10 years ago on it, and I took email off my cell phone and a bunch of other things, and I finally decided after many years of people telling me you got to do something, you got to create a program, you got to help people do it themselves. These are is the program that I created. So the thing about time though is there's no more of it. No matter what we do, we can't change it. So the only way we can get more time is by becoming more efficient in the actions and the processes in which we do each and every day. Here's the way we can solve the time issue. Getting more efficient, because one thing I don't believe is that just sleeping less. If you sleep 2 or 3 hours a night, you're not going to be at your peak performance during the day to be able to get done the hard work that you want to get done. You got to get more organized, and when you do these two things, then and only then you'll be able to free up the time to explore new opportunities, have the time to build a personal brand, work on bigger projects, or most importantly, and why we're all here, is to land that dream job in sports. Now, there is no magic machine to freeze time and go back to the 1949 State Fair as you see up there in California, or the Gold Rush, unless Doc Brown and Michael J. Fox bring us back in the DeLorean. But let's get into 10 different ways that we can get more efficient otherwise. Now, before we get going on these 10 tips, I want to just clarify a little bit. Why should I be trusted to offer advice on efficiency? Because I think it's a fair question to ask. It's not as though there is a degree or a school program that you can go through on efficiency. I guess there are professional organizers now, but that is not what I consider myself on. So here's my story, and I think it matters to you because hopefully this can give you some trust to understand where I'm coming from. I left a radio station about 7 years ago, and I was always frazzled, always stressed, felt like I had my BlackBerry out whenever I was hanging out with people, always looking at emails. I was looking at emails before I got out of bed in the morning. I was checking Facebook before I went to sleep at night. And when I switched jobs, I had a non-compete. And the old radio station that I was leaving to go to the new radio station, the one that I'm still at, the sports talk station, I had a 60-day non-compete that they paid me to not work. And I lived in the moment for 60 days. I worked out twice a day. I golfed by myself. I read books at the pool with my school teacher friends because it was the summer. I went to music festivals. I reconnected with old friends. I made new plans. And at the end of the 60 days, I realized this is the way to live. I didn't put email back on my phone. And I started to prioritize my life and start following a specific set of processes to live in the moment still, because that's really what efficient is. It's not getting things done in a rush sort of way. It's being able to not feel frazzled when you're living your life each and every day. Since then, I've been able to, at the sports talk radio station, bill close to $10 million over the last 6 years, start my own business, Marketing Fun with Mike, on the nights and the weekends. I still get 8 hours of sleep every night. I have trained for a marathon, multiple half marathons, Ironman, not the, or I should say triathlons, not the Ironman. I'm very close to becoming a distinguished Toastmaster in Toastmasters public speaking program. I've traveled to 20 countries, almost all 50 of the states. I do not miss social occasions with my friends or family. And overall, and I'm also a volunteer basketball coach, I started a free youth basketball camp. The list goes on and on. I do this with the same amount of time that everybody else has each and every day, and I do it being unstressed and unfrazzled. So that's my story, my background, and why I think I can be trusted to offer a process on efficiency that will help you. And the goal of what the efficiency recipe, which is what I call it, to become efficiency extraordinaire, is the same goal of Marketing Fun with Mike, and really the same goal of the SEA and Sports Networker. And that's to help you live the life you want and deserve. Because that's the most important thing we can do in our lives, I think, is now for a lot of people on here, it's landing that dream job in sports. That will help you live the life you want and deserve. It's different for everybody, but it's the same theme and idea. So here we go. The biggest question you need to ask yourself is right above. What do you want on your horizon? And when I ask that, I mean, what are you willing to cut out and make a priority to live the life you want and deserve in this world? What are you willing to do relentlessly, ruthlessly, and be an absolute hustler at it to land that dream job in sports? Because that's a big part of becoming efficient. Let's get started. 10 ways to get more efficient today. Number 1, close down your email. Not only do I think you shouldn't have it on your phone, I believe that if you have a desk job of any sort and you are working on something very important, a proposal for a client or a report that you have to do to a manager, whatever it is, that Microsoft Outlook or Gmail or whatever web browser you use, while you're doing that important work, will continue to distract you and take time away from what you were doing. Every single time I am working on something, I have my email closed. I open it to then send whatever I just created and to see if I have any other emails. And I try to only check my email 3 to 4 times a day. I'd like to do it less than that if possible. This will free up so much time. You will be amazed at how much time you're sucking out of your life inside an inbox. One of my case studies that I put through my efficiency recipe program over the summer said that she gained, my goal was to give everybody 2 hours a day. She gained 3 hours a day just by closing down her email when she works on proposals for her clients. Number 2, 20 minutes a day to clean your workspace. Just spend 20 minutes a day and take as long as it takes to get there. Now that doesn't just mean cleaning off the top of the desk. That means putting everything in a place, scanning documents that you need to keep onto your computer and recycling the rest. Putting everything away into an orderly, organized fashion. The more disorganized your workspace is, the more disorganized of a person you become because you inhabit it so much of the day. And vice versa, the more organized you become, the more organized your workspace is going to be. So start spending 20 minutes a day to clean up your workspace. And if there's another spot in like your house, for instance, a closet, a bedroom, a bathroom, your kitchen, whatever it may be, that kind of almost makes you feel frazzled at the sight of walking into it, spend 20 minutes a day in that one once you finish your workspace. But workspace is top priority. Number 3, executing your favorite 4 list. We make to-do lists that are so incredibly long, we feel like failures at the end of the day because we only got 40% of the list done. When in actuality, there was 97 items on it, and we got 37 of them done. That's pretty good. Here's the deal. A lot of items on to-do lists are very trivial and unimportant overall to your big long-term growth in your career and your life. You need to have 4 things every single day that are absolutely a top priority. Some are going to take an hour, some may only take 5 minutes, but they are vital to your success. And you need to execute and do those 4 every single day. And if you do those, your day is a success. Now, if you do 10 more items after that, awesome. But you have to view it in smaller numbers and say, I have 4 things I have to do today. That's what is going to make my day successful. Get off of social media, please, during the day. Check it in the morning, check it at night. If instead of watching a TV show for a half an hour as you unwind, you can get on there and do everything you want. But to have every single time you get a friend request, a new Twitter follower, a LinkedIn connection, to have a notification pop up on your phone or on your computer letting you know, and then to take you to that social media site to look at it and check it out, that takes time out of your day from what you were really meant to be doing. It doesn't seem like a lot, 9 seconds here, a minute and a half there, 4 minutes there. You can add that up though. I'd be willing to bet from the notifications and the time you actually, when you get on social media, the extra time that you spend on there mindlessly going through other stuff, 2 hours a day right off of that. Make reasonable looking lists. And this kind of goes hand in hand with the favorite 4. Don't make a list of 29 to-do items. Make your favorite 4 and then have a couple other things on it that are pretty important, but you're not going to beat yourself up if you don't get it done. And when you look at it in the morning, when you get up, you're not totally shocked at how on earth am I going to get all this done right now? There's just no way I'm going to be able to pull this off. Instead, make a reasonable looking list that when you get up in the morning and you look at it, you can say, okay, this might take a good part of the day, but I got this. I'm going to get it all done, feel good at the end of the day, and not be staying up worrying about how I didn't get all of this finished. 5 more ways to get more efficient. Have your why you want to. And the 6 case studies that I put through this program all gave me feedback on each of the steps and tips, and half of them said this was one of the most vital things that they would tell people going through the program themselves. So I want to share this with you. If you free up that time, you have to have a why and what you're going to do with it. You're not freeing up all this time to just check more email or to just peruse Facebook longer and longer and longer. You have to have your why. Write a book, train for a marathon, attend one networking event per week that's going to help you land that dream job in sports. Whatever it may be, have your why. You've got to know your why. I'm reading an incredible book right now by Viktor Frankl, who survived the Holocaust in World War II. And he talks about, in the entire book, which is called Man's Search for Meaning, those people in there all had a why that survived. And he talks about how each and every day he woke up and he had to remind himself his why to get himself through the day. And he lived till, I believe, the early 1990s. Have your why and execute on it. Stay off of social media. Now this is different from getting off of it. Here's what I want to do myself and what works the best for me and what I would advise for you to do. Pick 3 social media sites, and that's all you use. Don't sign up for 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 different accounts. Try to stay off of it as much as possible. Use a couple of them and use them in the right ways as much as possible. Pick the ones that are most vital and concentrate on doing a really good job both personally building relationships with your family and friends and connecting on there, or professionally for your job search. Instead of half-heartedly being on 19 of them, pick 2 to 3 and do an excellent job in networking, building content, gaining new followers, and overall enhancing your opportunity and your credibility towards landing that dream job in sports. Number 8, if we're doing really, really hard strategy work for our careers, we can't just go for, like Steve said earlier, 30 straight hours. 50 minutes straight, 10-minute break. That's 1 full hour, 15 minutes straight of work with a 10-minute break, no matter what, over and over again. 50 minutes, 10 minutes off, recharge your batteries, take a 5-minute walk, go get a fresh cup of coffee or tea, glass of water. If you're in an office, go by somebody's desk and tell a joke, have a laugh for a minute or two, let your batteries recharge, and then come back and go on for another 50 minutes. But when you try to power through and keep going and going, you're going to find your brain getting fried and you're not going to be able to do your best work. Number 9, no more multitasking. The reason I say that is it doesn't work. I've even gotten to the point where I realized listening to music other than yoga music or classical or jazz while I'm trying to do really hard work makes me distracted from either the music or the project I'm working on. It's really, really, really hard for us to fully be in the moment while doing 2 things at the same time. You might get them both done, but like I talked about with the number of social media sites, you're probably going to do both of them half-heartedly as opposed to being able to do one of them really good. So pick one, go at it. When that one's done, go to the next one. Finally, know where you want to go. And this kind of couples with knowing your why. Have that image in your head of success and where you want to head down the road and why you need this time. And once you get where you want to go, what you're going to do with that new time. Continually push the pedal to drive yourself for as much success as possible. And once you get there, don't don't rest on your laurels. Continue down the path. Continue to push yourself and get better and better and better. But you have to know where you want to go, what you want to do, and why you want to do it. Or else there's no point in trying to get any additional time in the first place. The whole idea of it is to live the life you want and deserve and to land that dream job. And you got to know what you want to do and where you want to go in order to do it. So why is efficiency important? It is a 24/7 world if we let it be one. And it can be dizzying and very hard because you're never gonna catch up if you feel like you're trying to catch up. And we can always use the excuse of being too busy and not having enough time to keep us down, but there's so much to do, so much to explore. We only have one life. Imagine the possibilities of what you can do with that one life of yours if you have 14 more hours each week to grow in your career and in your life. And I would say, don't do it for me. Don't do it because I have a program. Do it for yourself. Do it for those other people in your life that are important to you, want to see you more, and want to see you accomplish more in your life. All of a sudden, if you follow these 10 steps, coupled with my webinar a while ago that I did my other 10 steps, without even getting my program, you're going to have too much time on your hands. And that's not a problem. That's a great opportunity to have. And remember, it's a foundation. What you're trying to do with this is lay the groundwork for a bigger picture life that you want to have, to land that dream job. I have 15 other ways to free up more time. There's plenty of ones that you can probably come up with on your own. But the bigger question is, when you have too much time, what are you going to do with it? Take that action and spend that time finding your dream job in sports. Let's make a little toast to efficiency right there. Me and a couple of my buds. It's a beautiful life to have when you're not frazzled all day long, I promise.
It does look
Steve,
like
I'm going
that.
to turn it back over to you. We got a special webinar offer tonight, and then we'll do a little Q&A. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that sounds good to me. There's actually no questions in the chat box yet, so everybody, feel free to continue to or not continue, but feel free to get those questions in the chat box, and Mike and I'll answer them and get moving forward here. But yeah, I'm gonna take the screen back from Mike here, and like Mike said, we have a special offer here for the Sports Exec Association. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you the Sports Executives Association a little bit here. So you can see here is the dashboard, and you'll see everything that we offer here essentially in one shot, where there's core trainings about every industry in the sports field essentially. We have webinars and interviews with people who have made it in the sports industry. They have tips and tricks for you. We have all of our webinars with Mike. So we have interviews with people like Tiki Barber and the GM of the Denver Broncos and people like that. We've definitely we've done our research and gotten some awesome guests and live Q&As as well. So we have all that offered here. You see our live Q&A events. Plus we have these bonus materials. Look at all these PDFs that we have. So it's just a quick click and a download of a PDF file, and all of these assets and bonus materials are yours to have once you're in the SEA. Just going to the next tab here. These are our webinar archives. You can see here that we throw all the webinars that we do, just like this one. We throw them all into the Sports Executive Association, all to your access. And you can see here, Mike mentioned the first half of becoming an efficiency extraordinaire. We said this was part 2. Here's part 1 right here with the webinar. And I can just click into here and show you that. Here's a quick blurb about what it's about, and then here it is right here. Here's the YouTube video of Mike's former webinar about becoming an efficiency extraordinaire, and all of our webinars that we've ever done since we've started the Sports Executives Association are in here. They go back a few years now because we've had this membership group going for a while. We also have these bonus features. I mentioned it in a little bit on the front end of the dashboard, but here's a little bit more with a bunch of PDFs. These are ebooks. You see Mike's ebook is here right at the top. We have this 3X personal connection formula, which is essentially how Lewis Howes, our CEO and founder, made his name. You can connect with pretty much anyone that you want to on LinkedIn with this 3X personal connection formula. And this is yours with a quick download once you're into the Sports Executives Association. So with Mike mentioned all that extra time you're going to have. So this is the perfect thing to do with all your time and to get in here and do your research and really have all these materials and essentially an arsenal to be able to find your way into the sports industry and the sports industry that you want to find yourself in. And then finally, this is probably the most important thing about the Sports Executives Association is this networking that we have available. You can see here we have an SEA members only Facebook group and an SEA members only LinkedIn group. So these two things are really going to ratchet up your potential and give you an awesome opportunity to break into the sports industry, because we have established professionals in here. We have people looking for jobs, and we have people hiring people that are looking for jobs, all within this exclusive members only Facebook group. We're up at we're near 200 people in these two groups because that's the number of members that we have in the SEA at this moment. And it's kind of a like I said, it's exclusive, but it covers the entire gamut of people looking to get hired and people that are hiring people in the sports industry. So whether you're looking to go either way, it's a great tool and a great opportunity. And all of this is within the Sports Executives Association. It's only $27 a month, but with our webinar deal that we do with Mike each and every month, we have this for $9.97 this month. If we can, I'm gonna go ahead and give it back to Mike. I believe Mike, you have the graphic up. Yeah,
Yep.
awesome. So
And I'm gonna tonight the link right there,
there we go.
everybody, sportsexec.net/deal.
Yeah.
And anybody who does sign up, I'm gonna throw in my efficiency recipe calendar word of the day PDF for free. It's one of my bonuses when you purchase my program starting January 2nd. And I'll send you an email down the road on January 2nd to give you a special VIP price when it is ready. But I'll send you the calendar immediately for free. So all you got to do to get that free gift on top of the special deal is email me at mike@marketingfunwithmike.com after you sign up, and I'll send you the calendar. Gives you one motivational word every day to get all sorts of, quote, jacked up, end quote. 30 words, 30 words for the month, 25 words, one for each step of the program, and 5 words for free after you're done to keep on going with your bad efficiency self. So, but
Awesome.
it's right there, and I'll leave that up for everybody. And if anybody does have any questions, I'm here to answer. If not, we certainly appreciate your time tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. The only question that's in the box right now is from Dave saying, "Will you be able to view the webinar at a later time?" Dave, this is being recorded, so as long as the recording equipment works, we're going to be sending you an email tomorrow with a redirect link that'll take you to the webinar replay. Yep, as long as you signed up, which obviously you did if you attended, um, then you will be able to see it tomorrow. But that looks like the only question that we have so far. So if anybody else has any other questions, please feel free to ask. Mike, I'll ask you one quick just to burn some time while people are thinking of their questions. Is there a specific step that you have that you might find in priority over the rest that you found to be at least your most important in finding more time in the day?
Email.
Email?
Email for every, and I don't think that's just for me. I
Oh
think
yeah, I
I
get about
think
100 emails a day. I know.
if you have a white collar job, you spend so much of your day in your email inbox. And the thing is, a lot of the stuff that makes your job go happens outside of your email inbox. That's what's kind of interesting about it. It'd be one thing if like all the important work that you were doing and creating was happening inside of that email inbox, but it's not. It's just taking up your day to not be able to do that really hard work. So,
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think the email and the social media are probably the two top ones for me for sure.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So it looks like we're questionless. The group is less active than usual, but that's perfectly fine because everybody that participated, we appreciate you jumping on and coming on with us and getting these tips. But it looks like the Q&A session will be short in the sense that I'm the only one that asked a question. But we certainly thank you for joining us, and we hope to see everybody in the Sports Executives Association, and we hope to talk to you soon in one of those networking groups.
Absolutely. Thanks again, everybody. The link will be live for another 48 hours, and don't forget to email me, and I'll send you that calendar for free.
Absolutely. We'll talk soon, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.